Guys, welcome back to another video. I'm LJ if you're new here. So today's video is a tutorial on how to get your makeup to last all day long. So I get a lot of questions on how to get your makeup to last on 8+ hours. So in today's video, I'll be going in depth on the most common mistakes that I see people making that prevents them to get their makeup to last all day long. So make sure you watch until the end of the video to implement some of the tips that I'll be sharing with you guys. So if you're interested, let's get into it.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'. Welcome to a YouTube.
So before we get started with the video, I do want to put a disclaimer out there. This video is not intended to tell you how to do your makeup or how you should do your makeup. These videos are just intended to expand and provide knowledge for those that don't know or those that want some helpful tips. In these videos, I just explain what has worked for me, and I just like to share that knowledge. So if I say you should or you shouldn't or don't do this, I'm saying based on what works for me. So the first thing that I usually see a lot, and I realized on my skin that is a mistake, is failing to exfoliate. The most important factor that determines the longevity of your makeup is skincare, because skincare is what you put before applying makeup. So you have to make sure that the texture of your skin is nice and smooth. I feel like this step is a step that most of us tend not to pay attention to because we're just like, yeah, whatever, it's just skincare. But sometimes we think makeup products aren't good quality or they don't work on our skin, but the thing to blame should be our skincare and how we're taking care of our skin before applying the product. So my skincare routine is pretty simple. I don't like to use too many products because I feel like they clog up your pores. So to clear the dead skin cells off my skin and make sure that my pores are not showing, I make sure to exfoliate 3 times a week, which is so important. I usually use a chemical exfoliant. I don't like the scrubs rubbing my skin because I do have sensitive skin, so I prefer chemical exfoliants better. Chemical exfoliants usually penetrate deeper into the skin without tearing up the surface of the skin. So you want to make sure that you're exfoliating so the surface of your skin is nice and smooth, and the makeup will adhere better for more flawless and long wear. If you don't exfoliate, you're combining makeup with oil and bacteria, and that can sink into your pores and prevent your makeup from staying on the surface of your skin, therefore your makeup not lasting long. So I usually have 2 different types of exfoliators that I use. You don't have to specifically use these. These are just the ones that I've been really loving and I use constantly. The first one is this Dr. Dennis Gross Alpha Beta Peeling Oxidation Exfoliator. So this is a 2-step exfoliator. So the first one is to really exfoliate and get the surface of your skin to remove those dead cells. It penetrates deeply inside the skin. It gets into the pores and takes up all the dirt and oil from your skin. And then the second step, it helps to balance the pH of your skin. So whenever you're using anything with a chemical, you want to make sure that you're balancing the pH so the pH of your skin is not too acidic and it's back to normal. All right, so number 2 is not allowing the skincare to settle onto your skin. So not giving your moisturizer or your toner or your serums enough time to really sink into your skin and your skin absorb like all those products. So sometimes we apply our skincare, then we just jump right into applying the makeup. I realize that doesn't give my skincare products enough time to really penetrate into my skin. So if we just jump into the makeup after applying skincare, you're going to be mixing the skincare products with the makeup products that hasn't absorbed into the skin yet, and this will cause uneven makeup application and can also cause breakouts. So instead, what I do is I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth, and then I do my skincare. So after my skincare, I go ahead and I take a shower and get dressed. That gives my skin enough time to really absorb the products, and then maybe after like 30 to 40 minutes, I apply my makeup. Sometimes I wait longer if I have time. This right here will provide my skin enough time to really absorb the skincare products and get everything into my skin before I apply makeup. All right, so number 3 is not using the right primer primer or just not using a primer at all. Sometimes I hear people saying like good skincare can make up for not using a primer, and it's like saying a carpenter before painting, they're like good furniture makes up for not priming before painting. Like they're gonna tell you no, you have to prime. So it's the same thing with makeup. Primer is that barrier between the skin and the makeup that prevents the makeup from being absorbed by your skin, because your skin likes to absorb the things that are on the surface of it. So to prevent that from happening, you have to put that barrier so that it does not absorb it. If your skin isn't absorbing the makeup, your makeup is gonna stay on your face longer. Sometimes we use primers that aren't necessarily catering to our skin's needs or what our skin wants. So that's what can cause the primer to not really perform well on our skin. Because I've heard some people say like, oh, I use a primer and sometimes it doesn't work on my skin. It gets my makeup to be patchy. That's probably because you're using the wrong primer. You have to use a primer that is catering to your skin's needs. So make sure that when you are using the primer, you know what your skin needs and how it's going to help your skin. If you don't know what kind of primer you're supposed to use, I have a very detailed primer for beginners videos where I go over so many different types of primers, and within that video you can figure out like what your skin lacks, what your skin needs, and what kind of primers you would use for your skin type. I'll link that video down below in the description box for those of you guys who are interested in checking it out. And I also had a question within that video for primers about acne prone skin, because I never covered that. I think pore reducing primers are best for skin with acne. However, I would say stay away from primers with silicone because they do lead to even more breakouts, especially if your skin is acne prone. So a good one that I've seen worked really well for people with oily skin and acne prone skin is the BECCA Matte Poreless Primer. I like that one because it's oil free and it's silicone free, and it will help prevent the production of sebum on your skin. As a general rule for me, I think a type of primer that works for anybody is an oil free hydrating primer. I think those work for people with so many different skin types and skin textures, because I feel like everybody needs hydration. Just like every human being needs water, our skin also needs that hydration. So an oil free hydrating primer is usually good. If you're enjoying this video so far, please leave your girl a big thumbs up because it helps grow your girl's channel, and also subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you on my channel. Hit the bell so you're always notified when your girl uploads new beauty content. All right, now let's get into number 4. So number 4 is applying unnecessary layers of makeup. I was guilty, I still am guilty of that because I feel like it's just natural to apply so many layers of like foundation. But when you do that, you don't really allow your skin to breathe. When your skin can breathe, it will do whatever it takes to get some air. So for people with oily skin, your skin will just produce more oils. And for people with dry skin, it will appear very dry and patchy and ashy. Instead of going in with like 3 layers of foundation, 1 on each side of your face, try applying 1 pump of foundation all throughout your skin, and then apply more only on the areas where you need more. You obviously don't need more all over your face. So this will help build up the product to the amount we need. Do the same thing for concealer, contour, setting powder, and everything else so you don't apply too much makeup. All right, so number 5 is not properly setting your skin. So different skin types have different ways of setting the skin, but I honestly feel like any liquid product on the skin should always be set with some form of powder, unless it's like really humid outside and it's like in the hot weather. The reason why you should set all liquid products is because they tend to move around the skin a lot. So setting it with a powder will lock it in place so it doesn't move. Sometimes I catch myself setting my concealer only with a setting powder and forgetting to use a face powder to set the foundation. But when you do that, it locks that liquid product in your skin so it does not move anywhere. So you have to set your skin properly. If you have oily skin, I would say use a mattifying face powder to set all over your skin like the foundation, and also use an oil absorbing setting powder under your eyes to set the concealer. I would recommend using one that is sheer, just because because you've applied already liquid foundation, which is coverage. So you definitely want a sheer coverage on there, so you're not placing too much product on your skin. And then once you set your whole skin and you've completed your whole makeup look, you definitely want to use a long-lasting setting spray to lock everything in. And you want to use one with some form of hydration, because when you use powder, it dries out your skin, so you want to throw back that hydration onto your skin so your skin stays hydrated. So that will really like soften the skin, and the makeup will stay put all day. For oily skin, I would say don't use any powder throughout the day to touch up your makeup, because you're building even more coverage and your skin is going to produce even more oils. So what you want to do is you want to use a blotting powder to touch up your skin. It doesn't have any coverage. The one that I really like is this one by Fenty Beauty. It's this white blotting powder. It's really good for oily skin. It's also good for dry skin or combination skin, to be honest, if you really just want to touch up your makeup real quick, because it doesn't add coverage onto your skin. So when you're adding powder on top of makeup, you're adding more unnecessary layers of makeup on your skin, preventing your skin from breathing. If you have dry skin, you definitely want to set your skin with a light layer of makeup, and you want to stay away from mattifying products, like too many mattifying products, unless maybe you're using a mattifying powder to place it on the areas where it will get oily, which is typically for me around like my nose area. That's the only place that I use a mattifying powder. So then after you complete your whole face, you want to set your skin with a Luminous setting spray. They also have a Luminous one, which is actually called the Morphe Luminous setting spray. This one is also really nice. It's also really hydrating and nice for dry skin. Okay guys, so that wraps up the video for today. I really hope this video was helpful, and I hope you learned something new. Try at least one of these techniques if you haven't already or you didn't know about it, and trust me, your makeup will last way longer. Don't forget to watch my next video over here on sweat-proof makeup, where I go into details on how to get your makeup to last longer in humidity. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'.